Good morning. Oh my god. Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. I don't know what the fuck I was doing last night. To be frank, I'm not quite sure. What all these goofy... Where is it? Oh no, heavens. I turned the lights off in my room and now I've dropped everything. And every couple of minutes or so my microphone has been making some absolutely god-awful noises. It sounds like Mr. Electro from Shark Boy and Lava Girl is getting, he's getting stabbed to death. I'll do my best to manage the symptoms in the meantime. Thank you. Good morning, everybody. I'm really thankful you guys are coming out today. Let me plug in my phone. Can you give me 5 seconds? You'll hear me really loud in the background. There we go. I'll probably have to go back and get it at some point. Can we start off by doing a little bit of cleanup? I know it's funny and all that we have all these good caricatures. Goodbye, sweet children. You'll never be forgotten. So on the last episode of the Mr. Keating's Cozy Show, I don't know what I'm calling this, these little bedtimes, it's still in the alpha phase, but on the last time, we read a lot of Dr. Seuss fan fiction. Most of it was really pedantic, kind of stayed in the same place. It wasn't even fun campy. It wasn't even that kind of good soul food that you like to see when you read a cheesy story. It wasn't like that. It was just terrible. I wish it had gotten a little bit steamier, to be honest. People keep telling me my channel is shadow banned because of that Gloria video I made, but I think some of these things I read on stream have been worse. And really, it would be a true honor of mine if I could get shadow banned from reading one of these fan fictions. Or from making you all feel so relaxed and letting you drift off to sleep. But none of that today. No, we're going to make sure that everything stays just as it is. In addition, we put 14 Taco Bell pizzas on top of Alexander Ovechkin's head. I don't remember why we did that. Oh, yes, I do. It was because I was on a train, and there was a lady who was eating a Taco Bell Mexican pizza, and she almost threw it at me. Or she did throw it. It just didn't hit me. It almost did, though. Do you like these candles that I got? I've been in the market for... Oh, that's going to cause people to be annoyed. Look at that. There we go. I've been in the market for candles. I had two that I like to light up in my room before, but they started to get scorched. The glass on the side started to get scorched, and they left little burn marks. In addition, it was getting harder to light the wick without burning my fingers. If you hold a lighter sideways, the gas floats upwards, so the flame can sometimes nick your finger. I have a few blisters on my thumb now from doing that over and over. But it's not so bad. It's not as though I'd mind doing that, but I feel as though it's time for me to get a new one. I had two, so maybe I'm trying to find two new candles. I gotta go find a nice green candle. I think it's time to have a green candle. A nice green smell. What's your favorite green smell? Leave it down in the comments with $6 on a hand job. It's time for me to show you my newest attraction. I'm gonna write the letter W in the top left-hand corner over here. So I heard that's what you do if you have a good stream. You say W, because you're winning. And that's just what we're doing. So today I think I'm gonna read a nice review of Shark Boy and Lava Girl. But I'm going to read it in a really peaceful voice so that it doesn't frighten you. Here we go. Excuse me. Jesus Christ, where do I begin? I watched this as a 6-year-old and thought it was some weird kid thinks that he found some kid who apparently just turned into a shark and some pink girl. Then there's a tornado, which no one spelled with a K, but it's spelled wrong in like the wrong order. Look at this. No one is concerned about it until it's on top of them. Then guess spelled with a Q. I can't believe this. Then Quest, who shows up? They go on Shark Boy's rocket ship in all capital letters because apparently a shark has a rocket ship. Then, my God, you get a taste of the CGI. It's so trash. I'm actually disturbed how this god released. So now they're the wrong one on planet Drool, and it's basically just this kid's dream in one world. And this kid's teacher is a George Lopez tennis ball with hands and feet. And then, because the bully in school took the kid's dream journal, this world is chaos. But wait. Dun dun dun. Turns out the bully has been using the journal to destroy the dream world. Then, of course, we get to the journal chaos. We get the journal back just for Lava Girl to burn it by accident. Now George Lopez is back. Shark Boy and Lava Girl are dead. Then Shark Boy wakes up and they dunk Lava Girl in a volcano. Now she's a god. Then we get to the anime battle between the kid and the bully. The George Lopez flies to Earth. Where it turned out it was a dream, but not really, because they defeat George Lopez. Oh, goody. I think most of TH budget on this movie was getting George Lopez to be the teacher and the tennis ball. Even at the age of 6, I thought it was stupid and dumb, and it still is. P.S. We also get to see a Taylor Lautner hip-hop breakdance lullaby dance. 24 people found that helpful. Jordan from a year ago says, this movie sucks. Firstly, the graphics are completely terrible. The movies Terminator and Star Wars are animated better than this, and they were produced years before this film. Secondly, the acting was horrendous. Especially the part where Shark Boy recited a pointless and badly written lullaby. I think I'll sing that lullaby for you all later on tonight. Thirdly, there were unrealistic and pointless plot points. For example, when Mr. Electrodad called Linus Minus, this was completely pointless and it does not help move the plot forward in any way, which is a major error in story writing and script writing. On Planet Drool, Mr. Electric was randomly whimpering, shaking, and moving his legs in an abnormal manner. Then he completely forgot about this and he returned to normal. Finally, I would like to discuss the movie's unrealism. Somehow, these kids from Max's school suddenly appeared on Planet Drool, and when he awoke from his dream, the characters that he met were real, including Shark Boy, Lava Girl, and Mr. Electric. I would like an explanation as to how this is possible for only Max out of the billions of children on planet Earth, and as to how everyone was perfectly fine with Max's dreams coming to life, which clearly defies the science that everyone has been learning. On top of this, please explain how everyone will continue to live their lives without question and doubt about what they have just discovered. There are lots of other flaws. However, I've listed the main ones, and I'm hoping that other individuals can realize these flaws as well and not waste their time. Thank you for reading. Well, at least they were cordial. You know, at the end, at least they were like, hey, thanks. Gotta give them a thumbs down, though. Alright, Crodwell, 1-star review says, this film is a cinematic masterpiece. I don't care what anyone else thinks. This film is the peak of Robert Rodriguez's career. It also contains one of the greatest scenes in cinematic history, and let's just say, he ruined my dream journal. And it contains one of the most devious villains to have ever been concocted. Mr. Electric. Watts up, and he spells watt with W-A-T-T like the unit of electrical measurement. This man, parentheses, thing, is the Emperor Palpatine of the Shark Boy and Lava Girl universe. He's the most powerful being of all time. There is also, comma, Shark Boy's amazing musical number, Dream, Dream, Dream. This song is just, yeah. And of course, Linus, or Minus, however you want to pronounce it, the real villain behind everything, but I won't spoil too much. Please, please, if you don't want to end up like me, writing this review, please don't watch this film, please. So he was being ironic the entire time, only to switch up at the last second? Truly, that was very subversive. Alright, next, No Name, 1 star. He says, I'm not sure why it's a meme to say this dumpster fire of a movie was good. I remember, my voice cracked. I remember being a child in the theater and actually feeling embarrassment from watching this. In all honesty, this movie is a poorly performed, green-screened mess, but if you enjoy bad films, this one's for you. Maybe it's more enjoyable if you take some drugs, or might leave you with a bad drug trip. Thank you, No Name. Jacob Stringers says, this has to be the worst movie ever. The only thing I enjoyed was complaining about it. Sounds like a you problem. The storyline makes no sense, and it feels like a 2-year-old made it. The film looked like it was struggling for ideas, so they just threw in anything they saw. Their so-called plot twist was stupid and had no development into the storyline. I cannot tolerate this, and I would ban it if I could. This is literally on 1980, 80, 85, 1984. Here we go. Johnny Sins Jr. 3 says, Lava Girl is sexy as fuck. Also, I'm currently very thirsty as fuck for her, and I also want Shark Boy to slice me open with his fins and explore me fully in all my orifices. He spelled that wrong. Jack Perry says, this movie was great when I was like 6, and now that I've rewatched it, it looks like it took about 5 minutes to make. A lot of these kids' movies are good for the whole family. This one is about 7 and under. P.S. The green screen work is terrible. Sammy Peach says, this movie was horrible. This is extremely offensive, and the acting is horrible. The cast doesn't know how to act, making the acting believable. Worst movie ever. As a mother of 3 kids, this movie made my kids cry. Oh, I'm so sorry, Sammy Peaches. Maria Grabowska says, it looks like they didn't even make it. It looks like they didn't even making it look good, and the dialogue is, she spelled that without the D-I-A-L-O-G, and the dialogue is horrible. This movie will give eyesore and make confused by the plot. Would never recommend. Ooh, this is getting scathing. My goodness. Jason Miller says, I woke up to this movie on HBO and thought I had been administered drugs. Ollie Hosker says, terrible CGI, bad pacing, not engaging. Well, now we've seen the 1-star reviews. Now let's see some of the 5-star reviews. Angela Mona says, I've got to be honest, when I was little, I was never a fan of this film. My best friend in childhood said, well, you have to watch this. We've watched it so many times, but I really was into more shows like Hannah Montana, iCarly, and Disney stuff. Lately, at 20 years old, yes, you may roast me, my 6-year-old cousin discovered the film on Netflix, and now it is one of her favorite films of all time. Every year she has a favorite movie, The Lion King, The Grinch, Frozen. So this year, Shark Boy and Lava Girl is her fave, and she puts on every day to watch it. Crying emoji. I don't understand why critics are too harsh with this one. It's aimed for children, and I can clearly see why a majority of children adore this movie. The characters, imagination, visuals, superhero stuff. Not gonna lie either, this film inspired a song I have. I have to put it out there. So yes, for the most part I find this film hilarious. Perhaps the most random children's film I've ever seen. The dialogue just about kills me every time. George Lopez's acting, the dream song, skull emoji. Everything about it is actually amazing, and I'm surprised at myself why I never liked this film as a younger kid. Stella Brown says, this movie 100% goes down as a piece of motion picture history. Without a doubt, one of the most powerful and moving films I have ever seen. The meaning and messages behind this film are truly inspiring, and they carry truths that everyone should follow throughout paths in their lives. Follow your dreams and nothing will be impossible. While this is a children's movie, watching it as a young adult, you see the deeper meanings of Shark Boy and Lava Girl, as well as Mr. Electron and Torbor. 10 out of 10. Can't believe Tom Cohen says, I can't believe IMDb has this movie ranked so low. It is a stunning film. I enjoyed it as much as an adult as much as I enjoyed it as a kid. The message is great overall. It discusses dreams and how you may have to work to make them reality, which is hard, but it's not impossible. It's another sort of coming-of-age story, Alice in Wonderland-esque, with good pacing and surprisingly three-dimensional characters. The effects in the film might not be for everybody, so there is that. They're very good when this is made and released. After all, it is an excellent film. I loved this movie so much that I kidnapped the creator and all of the cast and locked them in my basement to add my Shark Boy and Lava Girl fan collection. Shark Boy and Lava Girl is my passion, my obsession, and my lifestyle. I would die for this movie. Another thing about Shark Boy and Lava Girl is it made me discover something, my homosexuality. When Mr. Electricity popped on the screen, I was thinking, he is so beautiful, I just want to hold him in my arms. I love him so much that I gave him the biggest cave in my basement so I can watch him work out his oil, his legs. 1,000 out of 10. If you don't watch this movie, you're gonna die alone. Wow. Bold claims, Alita. Anushka says, I just love this movie. It's truly breathtaking. If only there were a director's cut so that I could enjoy the extended version of Shark Boy and Lava Girl. It was my son's favorite movie as a child, and it pains me to watch it so close to the date of his funeral, but oh my god. But I know my little boy would have loved seeing his mommy watch a movie he loves so much. Sometimes wow, this is taking a turn, okay. Sometimes I wish that I was dead. I could have died in the crash instead of him, yet Shark Boy and Lava Girl is the only piece of media that could ease my immense psychological burden. 90 minutes of pure euphoria, like me and my son are watching it all over again. But when it ends, I feel myself slipping into a deeper depression. Again, I wish I was dead. It is so painful living without him that the only salve to this meaningless existence is to watch this film on repeat. If only shooting heroin could be this fulfilling. But instead it has brought me to the cold shackles of a rehabilitation center. They tell me it is unhealthy to chase this high, to devote myself so wholeheartedly to this one movie. That the only supplement to watching it is injecting myself with potent drugs. Then try and tell me it's all fake, that I'd never had a son, and this is merely a figment of my imagination. Please, tell me, is this real? Is any of this real? Am I real? The only thing that is real to me is this film, Shark Boy and Lava Girl in 3D. It is my entire life, my everything. I hope they don't revoke my computer privileges, as this is the only thing that I live for. I will die without this, without the memory of my little boy. He's real to me, and I know they're lying. Shark Boy and Lava Girl is what keeps me sane. Overall, a good family film. 7 out of 10. Wow. That was very fun. Okay, I'm gonna make sure that people who come in know exactly what we're doing, because this is that certainly took a turn, I would say. I'm gonna draw it here. Here we go. Oops. Nope, don't like that. Nope, don't like that either. There we go. Okay. Lawton Joden says, if I were on death row and I only had 90 minutes left to live, I would spend it watching this movie. It's a cinematic masterpiece on par with Citizen Kane, The Godfather, and Despicable Me 2. Very interesting company. It has elements from all genres that, when mixed together, thrust with a sensation upon you unlike any other that you have ever experienced. 10 out of 10. Bella Bjorkland says, words cannot describe the majestic beauty of this film. From the striking green screens to the heavenly CGI, this movie is life-changing. Shark Boy is my spirit animal. Every time he struck a pose. That's pretty funny. Every time he struck a pose, my ovaries quivered. I cannot get over his sharky greatness. Lava Girl, she's a snack. She is light. When she melted down into her molten slug form, I felt things that I didn't know I could feel. Anyone who says this movie is bad, they're lying. This is the most iconic movie of all time. Seeing both Shark Boy and Lava Girl on screen at the same time, this was enough to confirm my bisexuality. The one and only flaw this movie has is American Girl doll's glasses. Where did they go? Who has them now? Will we ever see them again? We will never know. All I can hope for is to dream of Shark Boy singing me his lovely lullaby and to write it down in my dream journal in the morning. Kira Holtzclaw says, I think I'm gay for Jordi Lopez. He's a god. The way he masterfully played Mr. Electron truly made this movie the treasure that it is. I love that despite Mr. Electric's arm being thin, his head is very thick and meaty. Like his head is absolutely plump and juicy. It's very succulent, indeed. Francesca Rose says, it was absolutely amazing. I loved it so much. I already got it for all my friends, and I have endless posters in my room. The edits were so good. I love Shark Boy and Lava Girl. It's so good. I recommended it, and I always talk about it, and it's brilliant. I love it. I want merchandise for Christmas and my birthday. Shark Boy and Lava Girl forever. Dorian Almadea says, this movie is the single greatest thing I have ever watched. The characters, the world building, the CGI, and the actors themselves are all stunning, but this movie is what caused me to become a functional human being, the one that I am today. I owe it all to Shark Boy and Lava Girl. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. This ad is sponsored by Raid Shadow Legend. Okay, it seems like people on both sides of the spectrum are not taking this very seriously. I've yet to see a serious review. I'm going to go to the three. Let's go to the 3-star because I feel like the 3-star reviews will be taking this seriously. Mr. Schmidt says, this is one of those films where it's so bad that it's almost good. It was made almost fully dependent on CG, which was one of its major downfalls. George Lopez played almost 3 roles in the entire film, so it would have been nice to see a different actor. The plot did not make much sense, but there was some symbolism. Here's the blunt meaning. Don't give up on your dreams. The sharper meaning is, Max's parents are going through a divorce. He's being bullied at school, and his parents and teachers aren't bothering to help. In the beginning of the film, he wants to go to sleep all day, as dreaming is his one escape from the hell that his life is. In the end, Max is clinically depressed, and no one's helping him. He's being ignored. Edit. Shark Boy's choreo in the lullaby scene was pretty well done. Kudos to him. The Legally Blind critic says, one of my favorite childhood movies. It's a bit hard to grade this movie now that I'm older, but I'll give it a C nowadays. Jackson McCoy says, I remember first watching this as a kid and thinking, wow, that's a great movie. But now when I look back, it's just okay. Tristan Avocado says, this is such a great movie. I've watched it 15 times or more. I keep watching it over and over and over again, though. I'm going to give it a 4-star because there's one part of the movie that I didn't like. I loved it. Chicken Ramen says, it was good. I remember when I was a kid, I'd watch it over and over again because I like it. Sure, looking back, it does look quite old and too childish for my liking, but it had an okay plot and made a lot of money. I just wish they could make the film look better, especially the cheesy moments like this movie is an old 90s movie. Balls Cage Doge 11 says, well, now that I'm older, I think the movie is boring, but as a kid, I loved this movie. Isaac Games said, this whole movie is garbage green screen, and I respect that. Smiley face. Vinci Paul E. Villarono says, okay, this is way better than We Can Be Heroes. I'm not sure quite what he's referring to there. Not quite sure what's going on. Ooh, here's a scathing one. Shark Boy bites in 3D. And what about Lava Girl, huh? Sexist prick. The Adventures of Shark Boy and Lava Girl in 3D is an innocent and delightful children's tale that is spoiled by the disastrous decision to film it mostly in lousy 3D. Fully 3/4 of the movie is in 3D, which looks more like 1D to me. Ooh. Removing the brightness and life of the movie's colors and replacing them with a drab, listless palette, which is about as exciting as looking at a 3D bowl of oatmeal. The 3D process subtracts instead of adding. Ordinary 2D movies look perfectly real enough for audiences to have for years. If it's not broke, don't fix it. Paradoxically, since it allegedly resembles our real-world vision, 3D is less real than standard flat movies. 3D acts as a distraction from character and story, giving us something to think about during the movie that we should not be thinking about. To be sure, there is a new 3D process that is pretty good. That would be the IMAX process that just uses oversized glasses to create a convincing 3D effect. That, however, is not the process used in Shark Boy and Lava Girl, which settles for those crummy old cardboard glasses where the left lens is such a dark red that the whole movie screen seems seen through a glass darkly. What a shame. I assume the unaltered original color footage of the movie exists and will no doubt be used for the DVD. My one suggestion to Robert Rodriguez, who directed the movie from a screenplay by one of his sons and uses 3 of them as actors, would be to make a non-3D version available theatrically as soon as possible. This is a movie aimed at young kids who may be willing to sit through almost anything, but they're going to know something is wrong, and they're not going to like it. Damn, this dude. Mr. Electric appears as a big, round, smiling face in a frame outfitted with spindly arms and legs. He reminds me of someone, which is odd, since he looked like nobody I'd ever seen. Nobody, I realized, except the Man in the Moon in George Melis's A Trip to the Moon. Mr. Electric floats around like a busybody commentator, offering advice, issuing warnings, and making a general nuisance of himself. One of his peculiarities is that he won't allow the kids on his planet to stop playing. Ever. One kid is trapped on a roller coaster forever that never stops. Shark Boy and Lava Girl has the same upbeat charm as Rodriguez's. He made Spy Kids? I didn't know that. Wow. Because the real world scenes are in 2D and the fantasy scenes are in 3D, we get an idea of what the movie would have looked like without the unnecessary dimension. Signs flash on the screen to tell us when to put on and take off our polarizing glasses. And I felt regret every time I had to shut off those original colorful images and return to the dim and dreary 3D world. On DVD, this is going to be a great looking movie. Thank you, Robert Egbert. He died about 10 years ago. I guess it's not uncommon nowadays to read things from people who are dead. Oh, I forgot the chat box was over there. I guess I gotta move that. You're not Mr. Electric. I'm Mr. Electric. Rotten Tomatoes, 20%? Oh my god. The decision to turn this kiddie fantasy into a 3D film was a miscalculation. 33% audience score? I remember better things being said about this movie, to be honest. Let's read what some people have to say about it. I'm not trusting the critic reviews. This is too gory, not to recommend to children. Here's one that was written today by Jacob S. This movie is a complete and utter masterpiece. Shack Boy is so cool that I want to be him. Vomit Girl is so green that she has touched grass. The speckle of facts are super good. I would easily dropkick a small to moderately sized child to see this amazing movie again. I think I'd even need a doorknob to watch it again. You need to be drunk to watch this movie. I think it's alright, but I highly recommend it, Dominique says in all caps. Screw you, haters. I love this movie. Cyrus K says, this movie has so many unintentional laugh-out-loud movements that I have to recommend this movie for that alone. But this movie still really does suck. The Adventures of Shark Boy and Lava Girl is a masterpiece in filmmaking. I've watched this movie 200 times, and every time the showdown with Minus, or Linus, gives me chills. My eyes fill with tears every time Max's parents get killed by the tornado. George Lopez is a genius in filmmaking, and he didn't. George Lopez didn't make the movie. He was just an actor. He didn't make that movie that was made by Rodriguez. Okay. 0 out of 5. I'm broken. Horrible, horrible, horrible acting. Not a single redeeming quality. The cinematography is atrocious, with some of the worst special effects that I've ever seen. The music is bad, with stock, generic music and a weird rap number. The editing tells a bare-bones story that is so stupid and zapped of any charm that it is difficult to watch. This leads to god-awful pacing, just beyond terrible. Half the time I didn't even want to look at the screen. End of review. This has to be the best movie of all time. This movie walked so the Godfather could run. That came out. Never mind. This movie walked so the Godfather could run. It's a masterpiece. A recommendation for every family. Taylor Lautner is a very talented actor. I hope he will play a big role someday. It's been like 20 years. I don't know if his career is going to go anywhere. I like the part where Taylor Lautner says, "It's sharkin' time," and then proceeds to shark everybody. I think it's a good movie because I highly recommend it. When I was 13 or 14, I enjoyed The Adventures of Shark Boy and Lava Girl in 3D, by the way. I'm 15 now, but when my mom would put this movie on when I was like 6, I liked it. Now I'm older and I realize how bad it is, but it will always have a special place in my heart. Why is this even called a movie? Makes no sense. It's not that good, but it's not that bad either. It was okay to watch. Just rewatched this movie after seeing it for the very first time, after seeing it as a kid. And it's still amazing. Clearly, everyone who gives it a bad review has no imagination. This movie is good. If you're a child, 4 out of 10. It had potential. But ultimately, Rodriguez delivers a half-baked idea that I cannot in good faith give a good review to. Just like the Spy Kids movies that Robert Rodriguez also directed, this movie is mainly for children. I love the superhero elements. Lava Girl and Shark Boy, before he becomes a werewolf teen heartthrob, were fun to watch, and maybe he's the superhero boyfriend and girlfriend. Still, one of my favorite childhood movies. I put this on every once in a while I'm feeling good and nostalgic, and I'm going to be 27 this year, but I really hope they make a Shark Boy and Lava Girl 2 with Guppy now. But definitely bring back Taylor Lautner. I have 3 reasons why I hated Shark Boy and Lava Girl so much. 1, the animation is bad. The animation for this movie was horrible. It looks so low budget. 2, bad story. Every movie has to have a good story, right? Well, this did not, because they should have left Max out because he's such a weak character. Why could Shark Boy and Lava Girl not be in this movie themselves? 3, such a movie for baby's dream journal, really. They should have just called it a journal, not dream journal. This movie was so bad. Marcus says, this is an example of how to make a bad movie. The ingredients are bad CGI, bad dialogue, a high concept, and memorial characters. It has the right amount of everything for a movie to become a meme. Its sequel destroyed all the fun. There's no Shark Boy and Lava Girl 2. What the fuck are you talking about? What the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck? There's a second one? Okay, it's called We Can Be Heroes. This also appears to have not gotten very good reviews. I didn't think that Shark Boy and Lava Girl 2 existed. So it does? Okay, no it doesn't, because Shark Boy and Lava Girl aren't even on the... They aren't even on the poster. So it's not really a sequel. It's not, it's not really Shark Boy and Lava Girl 2, but... Kason A says, this movie is really weird. Need I say more? Cyrus says, this movie made me unintentionally laugh. Oh, wait, I already read these ones. I'll have to watch it again to see what I think of it. I know not if it'll actually be a good movie, but before I go, before I do anything else, I must fulfill a promise.
Shop now for
No, get out of here, Michaels. I don't want to go buy anything from your store. Here we go. For all of you, this is my gift.
Had your cookies and milk. Now go to sleep.
I'll try.
Go to sleep. Not like that. Sing them a lullaby. Dream, 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 dream. Your turn.
Close your
Rise.
shut your
Oh, wait, I
mouth.
don't know the lyrics. I forgot. I can't just do this off the cuff. Hold on. Dream, dream, dream lyrics. Here we go. Here we go. Close your eyes, shut your mouth, dream a dream and get us out. Dream, 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 dream. Hit the hay, fast asleep, dream a dream, you little creep. Dream, 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 dream. Just relax, lay about, or my fist will put you out. Dream, 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 dream. Take your time, but beware, there is darkness in the air. Dream, 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 dream. Don't despair, step right up. Glass of water, here's a cup. Dream, 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 dream. Damn, that was the greatest thing I've ever done. Wow.